Yo, welcome to Deucecast Extra.
Tuca.
This is the Mike Ray, joined by Morgan Earlsbeth and Tuca Rifen. I don't know the reference. What's Tuca?
It's the little cat creatures.
Oh, yeah. The one that shows up in that one scene.
Loft cat. Yeah. Those are loft cats, right?
Yeah. Well, I think.
The loaf cat, right?
Yeah.
Tuca. What's up, everybody in the chat? We've got Melissa, Roth,
What's up,
Craig,
chat peoples?
hanging out with us this evening. Thanks for coming, as always, guys. We are, this episode, man, this was one of the best episodes.
It's amazing.
I would have never thought in 2008 when we saw that Anakin had himself a little Padawan named Ahsoka that in 2020 we would get a live action version. I mean, this is insane, really. I mean, it in this episode really exceeded any expectations. I mean, we kind of knew going in this was going to be the Ahsoka episode because Filoni directed it. Filoni wrote it with Favreau. They have co-writing credits on this one, and man, I mean, and it starts off with a bang. I mean,
at the start.
I have to apologize to Rhett because I said she wouldn't be the cold open, and she was the cold open. So
I know, right? I mean,
I was surprised.
It's crazy.
I have off. They didn't wait.
I have no idea what Roth is talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about the Seahawks Eagles, probably.
Are you talking about the footballs? This is not.
Hey, there's a Glenn Academy player playing on the field tonight. So
really,
yeah,
wow,
DJ Dallas.
Holy cow! There's some and that's your football second. All right, and so
we will discuss this no more.
Earl, what did you think of the episode?
I mean, I loved it. I loved every aspect of it. From I thought Rosario Dawson was amazing as Ahsoka. I didn't worry about the Leku or however you pronounce it.
I don't really either.
I thought she just looked great.
Not to diminish those that care about it, but it's not something I care.
I'm diminishing those who care. No.
You're diminishing. Fair enough.
I love the whole magistrate town and the setup of the big heavy for this episode.
So Kurosawa. All of it is so Kurosawa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just the standoff.
It's very Japanese feudal Japan. It's very feudal Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I love the font. We found out who Baby Yoda is, although I don't know if I love the name, but it's great. It's got to grow on me a little bit.
I like it.
I like it. I mean, the thing with that is there's no name that they could have come up with that would have been universally loved. But Grogu is a pretty like innocuous name that, I mean, how can you not like it? Right? I mean, it's
Grogu.
Grogu.
I like my spaghetti with a Grogu. I don't know what
Roth's with you, Garrison. He also diminishes people who care about it.
Yeah.
Rhett definitely diminishes people who care about it.
Fanboys are going to get I mean, it's true. It's unfortunate. I mean, there's always going to be that. Collar pop, as always, dude. Dr. Earl always has his collar popped.
Got to pop it.
Rifen, what do you think of it? I mean, overall.
Oh, I thought it was solid. I saw a lot of people saying it was their favorite of the series. I don't know that I would say that personally, but it's got a great reception with the fan base, and I thought it didn't. It really only answered a tiny bit, but it opened up a lot of new threads that make me think that it's kind of a backdoor pilot for Ahsoka show. Really?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think that it's certainly a backdoor pilot, just like with the Bo-Katan showing up. I think her showing up is kind of a backdoor pilot too. I mean, they're basically trying to create a thread here with several shows.
It's going to be like Rebels 2 when Ahsoka show comes out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what a lot of people are wondering. I mean, because there's always been that rumor that there's going to be a Rebels follow-up series. So now it almost seems as if they're going the route of live action versus animation for that.
If Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn, as we'll get to, I guess, does that mean she's also looking for Ezra as well?
Right. I mean, and just to touch on that, I mean, an interesting article came out today. Anthony Bresnikan interviewed Rosario Dawson, and part of that interview, and I think Filoni also. And part of that interview with Filoni, he even mentions that the epilogue for Rebels is potentially taking place after the events of this particular episode in The Mandalorian. So from a timeline, so from a timeline perspective, that's better. I think that works better from a timeline perspective. Always late to the party, though. We have
the red is straight.
He tried, guys.
Look, I tried. It was a lot of pressure on me, and this is what we got.
Straight. I like it.
Good. You jumped right in, Red, and we all just sort of did a roundtable list. Overall impression of the episode.
Oh, it was very enjoyable. I thought it was a fine live action debut for Ahsoka. It felt very Star Warsy. There's just no negatives to say except for the length of the Leku.
Right. Yeah.
We're still upset about that.
I'm kidding. No, look, if you did a Venn diagram of the people who were upset about the length of the Leku and people who are involuntarily celibate, it would be a perfect circle.
Wow. Right, I don't edit these things, right?
Hurricane reps, bring it.
Yeah, what a stupid thing to complain about.
Yeah, Garrison apologized to you earlier.
What did he do? How have I been aggrieved?
Oh, I was just talking about. You said that Ahsoka was going to be in the cold open, and I disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She showed up even earlier than I thought. I thought it would be a last shot of the cold open and then get into the show, but no, they started. Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Didn't wait.
No, he's been waiting his whole life for that.
Yeah. I love how they do the cold open too in the Mandalorian. Instead of like the after credit scene, it's the cold open, and then we get the title. I love that how they do.
It feels right.
Yeah, it works better.
Like the Office, like the Office cold opens.
Craig, the answer to that is always yes.
Yes.
That is always hitting the spike.
They are not a sponsor.
No, they're not. Definitely not. Well, Rhett, one question that I had to ask for you from a perspective of a person who doesn't necessarily watch all the animated series, what is your level of giving a rip about Ahsoka?
Look, I'm aware of her. I did watch quite a bit of the Clone Wars. Did not like the character right out of the gate. Like I think a lot of people liked her at first. Yeah. But she grew on me. And it was fine. No, I'm kind of indifferent to it. I knew it was coming. It's not the revelation that it was for many other people. But I don't. Yeah, I didn't. It was fine. It wasn't the end all be all. I could have gone on from now on without it. But I'm glad to have gotten it. It was well done, I thought.
Yeah, and that's always the question with these particular characters that they're dropping in from the animated series. It doesn't seem to be hurting the viewership yet. We had the Nielsen figures come out today, I think, and The Mandalorian was sitting at like number 3 at over 1 billion views for 9 episodes.
Purely October numbers, though, remember. So it'll probably be higher in November.
I would think
Yeah, and there are plenty of people who are waiting until the entire season drops.
Yeah, I know some people like
to binge
that,
it all at once. Yeah, I know many people like that. I think it's. I don't think there's any way to argue that it's not doing very well. And it is doing well, I think, in a demographic that is not your typical Star Wars junkie, right? Maybe people who do not, like you mentioned, they do not watch the Clone Wars. They do not watch Rebels. So they do not care about the length of her Leku. Okay?
No.
That only hits the radar of people who do not understand how movies and TV are made, right? And so... But yeah, there's a concern when you bring in a lot of lore. It's very lore heavy when you bring those kind of folks in, and they're referencing things that are not mainline series events, right? You drop Grand Admiral Thrawn. Stay-at-home moms don't know who Grand Admiral Thrawn is, right?
Probably not. Probably not.
They're there for Baby Yoda, not Grand Admiral Thrawn. So
I mean, Brian's right. I mean, there's a large group of people that didn't watch Rebels and Clone Wars.
That's a great point.
I mean, much as we want to say that there is, I mean, there's.
I haven't really watched Rebels besides season 1, so.
It's a tiny sliver. I mean, it's in the hundreds of thousands of viewers, right?
But
I think it's more than that.
No, I doubt it. I mean,
it was Disney XD, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't hitting 1 million viewers an episode.
No, Resistance probably wasn't, but Rebels, I would venture to say Rebels was up there. Okay, maybe half a mil. Maybe half a mil.
You can look them up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally. That's just I'm just making that up off the top of my head. I mean, we could look them up. I'm not going to. But
yeah, I mean,
but it's not the. It's a much smaller subset of viewer than we're getting from Mandalorian.
Sure.
So yeah, you have to explain. You know, if my wife happens to watch an episode, I have to explain what all these references are now,
right.
Why it's a big deal. And I don't know that that's necessarily bad for the health of the show. I mean, there have been other shows very lore heavy that have done fine. If you do too much of that, your viewership starts to diminish a little bit. I think there's a little bit of a drop off. People are like, nah. Kind of the casual fans, and there are a lot of casual fans of The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. So seems that way. With those numbers, there has to be.
So they need to be a little bit careful of that. I don't, like I've said before, I don't want it to become the Clone Wars Rebels show. It's The Mandalorian. We should really focus on that story and have these other elements. They can come in, but let's don't make them the focal point. If there is a negative to be said about that episode, Ahsoka was very much the focal point of that show. And if you don't know who that is, it felt weird, I think.
I mean, I think that's true that she was certainly a big part of the episode, but I still think that the focal point of the episode was Grogu. I mean,
I was going to say Grogu. I would probably put as the focal.
I think that everything that was revolving around that episode was because of Grogu, right?
I don't know. I mean, you've got this is a point of view show. You're always operating from the Mandalorian's point of view. You don't see what the bad guys are doing, except in the, I guess the end of the siege or whatever, where you kind of shift away from them. You're very much following the Mandalorian. He's your point of view character. So when you have a cold open without him, it starts to feel different. He feels less the focus of the show. So that's not even a gripe. I mean, that's just an observation that I know.
No, that's a good point,
I feel
though.
like could have an effect on some people if they don't feel like they're getting their what they came for, and that's the risk of bringing in these other characters from these other shows. But it's a low risk, I think, and certainly the benefit to the fan is very positive. So,
sure. I mean, the buzz that episode is generating is insane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not a buzz. It's great. So kind of jumping into the events of the episode, Earl, from your standpoint, we really get an atmosphere that appears as if, and it's interesting because they call the planet the Forest Moon. And yet this forest is completely burned down.
Ravaged.
I mean, it's been ravaged. We don't know what the backstory is behind that necessarily. The Empire could have something to do with that, but I'm like, why do they burn trees down? That doesn't make much sense.
I just watched tonight. There was something that she built this Morgan Elsbeth, not Earlsbeth, but Elsbeth. She built an empire and worked with the Empire by providing them resources, or she did some kind of industry for them. So I don't really know if she's like, raising this planet for a reason to harvest. I mean, the trees all just look burnt. So I don't know. It didn't seem like a very good forestry project to me, but
they're saving that for the DK book.
Most likely.
I can get you one real quick.
Yeah, I mean, Roth makes a good point. He thinks as long as they keep the outside Star Wars references surface level and rare enough, I think it'll be a good thing for Star Wars as a whole. You don't lose anybody and move viewers to view the other stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's right. Yeah,
good point.
Yeah, just keep it reserved. Yeah, keep it. Yeah, I like the rare. I mean, the key there is rare, where you don't just, bash us over the head with it.
I don't know if Craig is coming from a point of knowledge here, but maybe she was in the lumber industry. I mean, that's a good. I mean, I don't think that Star Destroyer
They
is
say
made of
that
lumber.
they did
Yeah,
say that there was a
lot of
line that said
wood.
what how she was connected, but I don't know if they. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't recall. What good are walls around your city, around your town in the Star Wars universe? That
Against Jedi, I wouldn't imagine it's that great.
well, or anything else with hover technology.
Atmosphere. It creates a cool looking atmosphere.
Okay,
Well,
all right.
I mean,
And a lot of
you
people
know,
have brought up the sets kind of look sort of Throne of Bloody, which is Kurosawa's Macbeth film.
oh sure, yeah,
And they've said that the plot is kind of Yojimbo-ish.
Yojimbo?
Which is
Totally.
another Kurosawa film. So
yeah. The bell.
So their
I
real
mean,
goal is to get
the
people to
bell-
watch
the bell is
Kurosawa
awesome.
movies.
yeah, and
Not-
their
not
real
another
goal
Star
is
Wars
sign
show.
up for the Criterion channel.
or just buy the Criterion Kurosawa box set.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, well, that's
you-
out of print, but yeah.
Oh well, you would know. But yeah, no. I mean, you could. We all know going in. Well, most of us know going in that Filoni is a huge Kurosawa fan, as was
Yes.
Lucas. I mean, and
Absolutely.
there goes the influences there. I mean, from Kurosawa to Lucas to Filoni. I mean, it's sort of a hierarchy there.
There's a lot of Japanese. Also, the bonsai. It looked like kind of bonsai trees in her
Mhm.
little pond area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very Kill Bill, the finale
Yeah.
with the magistrate, and which is in and of itself a reference to those Japanese films, but that kind of influenced Star Wars already.
yeah, no, definitely. But we certainly obviously get the idea that Morgan Elsbeth is, a jerk. She's ruling this town for whatever reason. We're not sure an end game there, but
And I don't think we have to care, right? I mean, we don't
have to care.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's sort of just it's the reason. It's
Look, the
Go
town has some sort of resource, and that's what they want. I'm sure that's that's whatever they'll explain in some book or something.
maybe she just likes koi ponds. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she should be a fan of koi ponds.
and an old Michael Bain.
Yeah, and a really old Michael Bean.
My gosh,
mean-
it took me a minute. It took me
Yeah.
a minute.
I didn't
Like I
really
knew he
think-
was in it, and I thought, oh no, that's not him, is it? Oh no,
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it made
He
me feel real old.
certainly is looking old. I mean, he's.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm
recognized
not. It's not a. It just he looked different. I mean, I was not prepared
He
to
looks very old.
for him to
I
be,
I did not recognize him either, Rhett.
I think
30,
he's had a rough
30
go
something
of it.
years older than I last time I really paid attention.
Yeah, I think he's had a rough go of it. I mean,
Yeah, well, I can vouch for that myself.
So one
Right.
Easter egg, apparently, whatever he said to Mando when they had that standoff, him and I think that character's name was Lang. Apparently, he said a line that he said in Tombstone.
Oh, I missed that. I need to rewatch
Yeah,
it again.
somebody was saying that he said something, and I'm blanking on what the actual phrase was, but
Well, I mean
he-
that scene.
he threw just a little Tombstone line in there, which was kind of cool.
Oh, I missed that.
That whole scene was great because the whole referencing to the fight that was going on the other side of the wall, the way they did that was really clever. I think just the way that Lang was saying, who's going to win, and he would listen. He was like, "I think you won." I wonder if that's the Tombstone.
I
reference.
loved his quick draw moment. That was
Oh,
a great,
Yep.
great
He's like,
scene.
"I'm going to set this gun down."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't necessarily want him to die. I had made a prediction on another show that he was going to save the Mandalorian from an android.
Take it.
So it'd be very Terminator like.
Oh, a little too meta.
Yeah.
This is very wrong, by the way, Rob.
No.
That is
Tombstone.
very
Tombstone
wrong.
Tombstone is superior.
How dare you?
Well, Tombstone's the funner movie.
No,
Yeah.
Tombstone's good stuff.
But the brilliance of Kevin Costner elevates.
Tombstone, though, Tombstone is for Mountain Dew drinkers, and Wide Earth is for Kurosawa fans. There, what was that?
Okay,
I'll
we
take it.
solved that.
I'll-
We've solved
I'll
that
take it.
problem.
Look, there was a little bit of a missed opportunity. Look, the HK assassin droids, right?
Yeah.
There are
Oh, I
two of
wanted them to. Yeah.
there's an assassin. There's an HK assassin droid in Knights of the Old Republic game.
Yep.
should have been the voice. He's a great character. Games. Would have loved to have had the same voice actor. Maybe he's not available. Maybe he's dead. I don't know. It would have been a great callback if we had gotten that same voice actor, because that was a very memorable character from those games.
It didn't even seem like these ones spoke English.
Yeah, no, they didn't really do much. They really could have played up how bloodthirsty and psycho those droids are.
Yeah, they got hunted down by.
They had a couple of minutes. Yeah, they didn't really do much, right? They were not particularly impressive.
Ahsoka looked kind of like a samurai hunting them down.
Yeah, and there was only 2 of them, right? I mean, and they one thing that I caught, not in the episode at all, but because of a tweet somebody had sent out, is they had Thrawn's logo on their head.
Yeah,
Thrawn kind of has his own logo, and if you zoom in really close to those guys, they had the logo on his head. So, all of these, and I wonder if like the troopers that were there also, I don't know if those were locals or if Morgan Elsbeth brought those troopers with her, and if it was just a different type of stormtrooper that we're seeing there. I mean, they almost look like
they seem like private militia to me.
So of that planet, you think?
Yeah, they're locals.
Yeah, because they did speak in it. If you turned on the audio description, it says speaks in a foreign language or ineligible alien language.
Yeah.
So maybe they are local. Which
they were pretty cool looking though. That would be a good cosplay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think any of them were Imperial, really, right? I mean, they weren't. None of them were. I don't recall that that they had any of the Imperial style markings or anything else. I mean,
I'm just wondering. I mean,
they're all just seem like local privateer kind of folks.
Hired guns, probably for her. I guess.
Oh, okay. Roth did some quick research for you. He's still alive. The guy that did the HK.
Well, I wish we had gotten him for these. Although they didn't have much to do, maybe they save him. If we're going to call back to some deep lore, bring that guy up, because he was great fun in Knights of the Old Republic games.
So, what kind of takeaways did you have, Ryfin? Anything that we're missing that we haven't talked about?
I mean, we have, there's a few. I mean, there's a few things we haven't talked about. Mando getting offered that Beskar staff in return for hunting down Ahsoka. That was a pretty nice looking staff. I know that Mando didn't really actually care to have it, apparently.
I was hoping he would give it to that the guy who was kind of the sort of taking care of the people. That Asian guy that I guess actually he's not even an actor. I think he's like a architect or something in real life.
Yeah. No,
I thought it would have been nice.
He's an Imagineer, right?
That dude is big.
Oh, he's an Imagineer.
He's actually a Disney legend too, like officially a Disney legend.
Wait,
I mean,
who?
The older
guy that ends up.
It's not Joe Rody.
No, it's not him. But this guy's just as big as Joe Rody. I mean, if you look up his Wikipedia stuff, he's got some deep cuts. Really, really good. I was surprised, and I'm like, and then also the actress that played Morgan Elsbeth is Bruce Lee's goddaughter.
Or something,
yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, to get Bruce Lee's goddaughter in an episode of Star Wars along with a Disney Imagineer that's also a Disney legend, it's pretty awesome stuff.
Well, throughout the series, they've had some real. I mean, it's not stunt casting at all. It's been inspired casting. Even these short little,
except for that one guy, right, Mikey?
Which one?
That one guy, right, Mikey?
Oh, the jeans guy. Wait, which guy are you talking about?
The gunslinger.
Oh, the gunslinger. Yeah.
That guy's
Pelican.
Yeah, that guy was pretty terrible. Ming Na's good casting there.
Yeah.
Even that little bit part from Brian Posehn. I mean, who ever thought you'd see Brian Posehn pop up in his Star Wars property anywhere? I've really enjoyed that. Jason Sudeikis. I mean, you've got all these little parts for people that you know. Even Michael Bain. I mean, that bring him out of whatever he's doing. And,
I like that.
Put him in here. That's good stuff.
It was either this episode or he was in a gutter somewhere. I mean, so probably
next to the guy that played John D. Brannon.
Next to the guy that played John D. Brannon. Exactly. So let's start touching on some of the really
what about Grogu? The
Yes.
journey
well,
of
the
Grogu.
Ahsoka stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. One
That's
of the
exactly what I
cool,
wanted to get
a deep cut for those that are familiar with the animated series, and we saw the Moray, which is basically an avatar for the Mortis sister in a way. That's deep stuff there. I mean, like, so if you watch the Mortis episodes,
That's some
where
cartoony. That
the
sounds
sister-
cartoony.
Well,
Yeah.
that's baloney. It's just full. It's
no one
Filoni
noticed
likes
a
to go
bird that
deep
was
with all
a
that
casual
stuff.
fan.
Yeah. So it's like this little owl looking thing
Yeah.
that would either you would see in an episode, and then Ahsoka would be around, or she would show up the next time. It was just awesome to see that bird. I mean, in live action, freaking A. I mean, the stuff I never thought I would see. I mean, coming from this, it's just so
I didn't
cool.
catch much of it. Was it a practical effect like from Clash of the Titans? Remember the owl from Clash of the
No.
I'd love to have seen that thing.
It wasn't like the steel pecker in the Force
little
Awakens.
golden
It
owl.
wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Or was that
No.
Krull? Was it Clash of the Titans?
No, that's Clash of the Titans.
Okay, I couldn't. Okay.
It looked.
There
I
might
mean,
be something in Krull too. I don't
No, they
It
had it.
could
They
have
had
been
it
a practical-
shadowed. It was not real prominent,
Yeah.
was it?
I think it was CG. It could have been practical, but I mean,
think it was
CG.
CG.
I think it was CG because it was sort of in the foreground. I mean, it wasn't really. You didn't need to see it. But I don't know this reference. Bobo the Owl. What is that from? I don't know that reference.
That's the owl's name, I bet, from
Yeah,
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Oh, is
maybe
that
I don't
from
know.
Clash
I
of the
hope.
Titans? That's awesome.
Otherwise, that's a weird thing to blurt out. So I hope
is
that's
that
what
from,
it
is
is.
that an
Yes.
owl of Gahul
Yes.
or what's the
Yes.
owls of Gahul? What is
Yeah,
that?
No.
that's,
Well,
that's
that
his
was
name from Clash.
Oh, okay.
That's
the
a
Clash
Zack
Owl.
Snyder movie.
That's awesome.
What owls of Gahul?
Yeah, didn't he do an animated movie about those?
I don't know.
I think he did.
Don't know.
We're hitting a lot of topics. I love it.
Yeah, we can talk about Ray
So,
Harryhausen if you want.
one thing that a lot of fans of Ahsoka
Guardians
as a character
Yeah.
were saying is they didn't feel as if this Ahsoka was as jovial or as I don't know, just optimistic as the Ahsoka in the animated series.
I mean, she's had 15
So
years of
she's
dark
gone-
imperial rule.
Yeah,
She lived through.
Yeah,
it.
she's weathered. She's older.
gone
not a
through some
Jedi
stuff. And
anymore.
she's older. She's an adult. I mean, she's obviously gone through some stuff that we will hopefully get some backstory on in her series, sort of like filling in the gaps to sort of show where what she has been through.
Yeah, one thing she didn't seem to do was put any effort into defeating the Empire while she was just hanging out.
Oops.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these Jedi, though. They seem to just want to go away and hide, right? I mean, that's a Yoda thing. Luke does it eventually. I mean, maybe she was
Ezra's hiding out. Where's he
and she left the Order anyways. I mean, she
Yeah.
wasn't in the Jedi Order any longer, and so
Well, and
She
and I
still
would
had a
say she
certain set
wasn't-
of skills that would have been
Sure.
helpful to the rebellion. I think.
sure. Yeah, I mean, and
Yes.
Roth makes a really good point. She's not Ahsoka the White yet. Ahsoka the White, for those that didn't watch Rebels, shows up in the epilogue. I mean, that's kind of a spoiler alert. Shows up in the epilogue of that.
We don't think this is after that epilogue.
Is that actually the term for her? The just straight up taking the Lord of the Rings?
No, I mean
Or is
that's
that
what
just a
people.
fan term?
No,
Fan-
that's what
fan
people
term,
are calling her. Yeah,
I mean, we don't think this is after.
no, and the only reason that I say that is because of the Vanity Fair article that came out today. Filoni did an interview with Anthony Bresnikan and kind of alluded to the fact that the events of this episode probably take place before that.
I think it's after
Yeah, it feels like it because
I
she's
feel like
on
they're
the,
gonna
she's on the
continue
trail of.
Ezra and
I mean, you
Thrawn.
guys can, say you don't believe what Filoni's saying. I mean,
Well,
it's
I think
pretty
he's-
clear in the article.
he
what
clearly
he's
doesn't know
saying.
what he's
He's the
talking
guy that
about.
makes all this up. So
He's the guy that
He
makes
doesn't know
all
what he's
this
talking about.
But
Clearly.
but Filoni at the end of it said it could or could not be.
That's him
I mean, he gave it.
playing coy. That's
This
that's
is-
what he always does. That's what
This
he
is-
always does.
This is the same guy that was okay with short Leku. He can't be trusted.
I don't think Brian. I don't think she has. I mean, I personally think that this takes place before the events of that epilogue. I don't. That's just my personal thought that that we're going to see.
Where did we see the epilogue? Was that
was the very end of Rebels, the series finale?
Yeah, I watched it. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where Jansen Syndulla shows up, or whatever that kid's name is.
Okay. Yeah.
Rhett's
eyes.
Cartoons.
I mean, I love me some Captain Syndulla. Man.
I mean, you know,
Oh,
Harrison Syndulla.
Harrison Syndulla. She's
got those Leku like you like it.
No. I don't know what you're alluding here to.
Yeah,
Rock,
I don't really know what he's
but
looking to either.
the deal is we've got this live action show now, and if Filoni needs this to be before the epilogue of Rebels, it'll be before the episode
I
of
feel like
Rebels.
it's gonna be afterwards, though. I just
Really?
feel like it is.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree.
So you're
And-
thinking that he's already.
And I think Thrawn is going to be the bad guy in that show, which I hope Thrawn is not the bad guy in Mando. Let me put that out there. Let me make
maybe
I
in
think
her
Gideon
show.
will
In her
continue
show.
to be the bad guy. For
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not in Mando, but in her show. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be
Okay.
fine with that. I just don't want.
I hear that all.
Then you got to
Well.
explain to the audience about what Thrawn does and his whole art thing, and I don't know that you need to do that in Mando.
No. I don't think it will. I think Mando's going a different way. I think that my personal thought about it is Grogu's going to go on the Seeing Stone and
Okay.
make
Someone's
his
going to show up.
More
By 7 or
cartoony
8.
stuff.
and his choice is going to be to stay with Mando,
Mm.
regardless of
I don't
what
think so.
regardless of what Jedi shows up.
I
They're
think he
not-
goes full dark side. he's our
So Darth
villain.
kills Mando. This
He's
is
our
it for
villain.
Mando.
Darth Grogu.
Yeah, well, yeah. Would
Darth
watch.
Grogu.
No. I
You heard it
think
here first, folks.
I
We've
think
broken
this
the story.
series begins and ends with Baby Yoda. I don't think you're going to lose that character in season 3, or at the end of season 2. I mean, I think that
Because you lose the casual mom fan at that point.
yeah. I mean, the most awesome thing that could happen is Luke shows up. Grogu's like, I'm going to stay with Mando.
Grogu's like, I have a bad feeling about your academy.
Yeah, I have a real bad feeling. He's had a bad track record
You
with
think Luke
academies
is gonna
in
show up?
general.
No.
Well, yeah.
So Luke is going to show up, but then Mando's going to pull the egg jar out, and Grogu will go, "No, I'll go with the eggs."
That's all it takes. Yeah, he's definitely with the egg.
And he'll stop popping them in his mouth.
Now they say he gets rescued by someone. Do you
Yeah.
think we'll ever find out who that is?
I think it's Jocasta Nu or somebody like that. I mean, somebody.
That's what I've heard.
What, dude? I'm
They
putting it out
stuffed
there.
him in the
Okay.
folds of her
I think-
I like to
gown.
think she died of old age right
No,
after
she
attacking
didn't die.
No, she had a big
Comic?
fight, didn't she? There was a
Yeah.
scene, and
She didn't die.
Some
in
book or
a
something.
comic book.
Yeah, I think it was a
I saw
comic.
it.
It's
Yeah.
The
either
I've
adult
seen it.
novel, Rhett.
it's either somebody like Jocasta Nu or Quinlan
Jocasta
Voss or somebody.
Oh, they're gonna
Hey,
do
let's
that
Rhett,
to me.
every time I mention somebody in an animated series,
It's-
Rhett just
Well, Quinlan, that's EU crap. That's old school.
No.
That
He's
predates.
canon.
Quinlan Voss predates. I know he's in canon now, but he
Right.
predates canon. He's
Yeah.
another that we
Yeah.
carried over.
Yeah.
Was he a Legends or something?
Yeah,
Well, he was, but now he's canonized. I mean,
yeah.
There's been some rumors of a Windu show. Do you think they have him cheat death?
grief.
If they
I
do that-
thought-
No, I don't think so. I think people don't have the connection to him for that.
No one's ever really gone. Come on.
I know they're not. They're not.
I
That's
hope
true.
he doesn't
That's
go.
true.
It's going to start to have more
Anybody that-
spinoffs.
Anybody that doesn't die on camera right in front of you and is brutally dismembered, everybody, Star Wars fans think they're coming back. Listen,
I mean,
Star Wars has pulled one effective trick. One.
Which-
Darth Vader being Luke's
Right.
dad.
Yeah.
That's the one thing they really did. And now everybody thinks they're going to do it over and over again. Every time a new character, who's that? That's got to be somebody. That's got to be, they concoct all these theories and none of them ever pay off.
Yeah.
Except when it's forced down our throats, like in the sequels with that Palpatine nonsense. But but that was forced. I mean, that was, there was nothing organic about that.
Right.
It should have been natural, like with Darth Maul showing up in Solo. See, that was
that was much more natural.
Yeah, I would have liked that better with his spider legs.
Except that confused a lot of people.
Oh yeah, the poor guy in front of me. When we saw it that opening night, the guy in front of us was dressed as he was dressed as Han Solo, and he was like, "What is this?" I thought he was dead. He didn't follow it because he was a grown man, didn't watch cartoons.
Well, yeah, it's the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah,
you have to watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch it. All of it's good.
And
season 7's awesome.
Not everyone did.
Season 7 is amazing. Yeah.
Come on, it's one of those things that's a pretty big investment now. I mean, there's a lot of episodes of Clone Wars. Rebels, there's not as many, but
4 seasons for Rebels.
Rebels is even more out there than the Clone Wars as far as the concepts they explore. I mean,
I think Rebels is more cinematic in sort of how it does it. I mean, because the story arc carries.
And then the best of them, you got Resistance.
I could barely sit through.
I watched the first episode, and the animation didn't bother me as much as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, it was actually
the animation was fine.
Yeah,
the script was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah,
I haven't watched a single second of that.
Yeah, I mean, no, this is
look at that.
This is totally true. I mean, because
that's what happens when you don't educate your audience.
Yeah, I mean,
like it sounds good on paper. Oh, we're going to have this multimedia story that covers everything. Well, some people don't read books. Okay, some people don't watch cartoons. Some people don't have. They don't pay for this, pay for that, and they just want to see the movies. And it's really hard when you start bringing important plot points over from other media into the main line because not everybody's going to get it. And I think that hurts Solo.
That's going to be the interesting.
Why I think that now that Ahsoka is live action, I don't think we're ever going to see her animated again. I don't think that they're going to.
No, I agree.
Again? You don't think they're not going to?
No, okay. I think that now that you've done what you've done, you've introduced the character live action. You can't go back and expect the same audience that watches The Mandalorian to go back and watch an animated series with that character. I don't think it's happening. I think the Rebels sequel is essentially going to be her live action show that we see.
How long do you think
Rosario
Dawson will commit to this kind of? I mean, because it's a lot of prosthetics and makeup.
Rosario got to eat, so
it's not any prosthetic.
As long as that check cashes,
they will come to her and they will say, "You're going to do an Ahsoka Tano show," and she'll sign on to do that. I promise.
Easily. Yeah. I mean, the way that the entertainment industry is right now, nobody is not signing the dotted line.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
If they can get work, they'll take it.
Yeah,
and a lot of those. Look, I mean, the thing is, the rumors are that a lot of these studio heads are focusing more on their streaming stuff. Their Disney Plus shows. Feige is apparently very heavily invested right now in getting the Disney Plus shows going because they can't put movies out right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and to Brian's point, I mean, there certainly could be some crossover between Ahsoka and Bo-Katan. Even if we don't do a Bo-Katan show, Bo-Katan could easily show up in an Ahsoka show. I mean, I mean, there's a lot going on there too.
And I mean, I could see her showing up at some point again.
Yeah, I mean, because how many spinoffs do you really want to commit to?
I mean, this is getting as bad as All in the Family. We got the Jeffersons here. Here goes Maude. Here comes. Who am I forgetting? I don't know. Chico and the Man. Here we go. Sorry, I'm a 70s guy.
I'd have gone Happy Days.
I was going to say Happy Days.
Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley. There you go.
Yeah.
Mork
was a spinoff of Happy Days.
Yes, Mork and Mindy was. Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, Ahsoka's going to hold a snow globe and drop it, and it'll shatter on the ground, and it'll be a massive intertwined. Wasn't that from? What was that?
I don't know what you're doing.
I mean, there was a snow globe at the end of Saint Elsewhere, but that's different.
That's it. That's what I was talking about. Is Saint Elsewhere? That's exactly what I was
that's right. Because so Saint Elsewhere crossed over with Cheers,
with everything,
Frasier, and there are all these other crossovers, and there are character names that are consistent. So you end up with almost every TV show ever is a result of that one autistic guy at the end of Saint Elsewhere. Yeah. There, I got you. I'm with you now. I'm with you now.
It took us a while to get there, but that's what I was referencing.
Yeah. No, I'm with you now.
I was like, was that at the end of season
He's
seven?
like, did I miss an episode?
John Ratzenberger's in Empire Strikes Back. So
That's
come on.
right.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's all connected.
All connected. Oh man. So we see Ahsoka very reluctant, obviously, to have anything to do with teaching Grogu because she, alludes to the fact that she has seen a situation with somebody that has much anger in them fall badly.
Who was she talking about? I didn't get that. I didn't catch.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
didn't
get
get that
that
at all.
Star Wars reference. There's a lot of
No.
Star Wars references in the Star Wars show that we watched nonstop.
I thought it was interesting that she went that angle. Oh no, he's got an attachment, so I don't want to screw that up. Versus, oh, he's too old. He's too old to train
He's 50 years old. I
He's
can't.
50.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she didn't mention his M count at all. There was no mention of his
yeah.
M count. Yeah,
He's got a high one.
yeah, he's got to have a high one.
Over
So
10,000.
a lot of people are thinking that the that the Jedi that Luke references in The Last Jedi is actually Grogu, and that's why he's going to show up. And to Rhett's point,
Wait.
maybe Grogu's evil because
I
he
hope so.
said, "I've only seen that power in one other Jedi."
Oh, no, that's
Oh, they're saying Grogu.
Grogu.
Star Wars is not tricky. They say what they mean.
That's true. That's true.
Oh.
Although, people are even now, they're going back to Empire Strikes Back and like Yoda said there was another. He meant Grogu.
He meant Grogu.
He did not.
He was actually
He
talking
did not
about
mean
his
that.
own species. He wasn't talking about any.
Yeah,
He's being very
he
specific.
did not
There's
mean
another
that.
one of me, and it's Grogu.
Yeah, he wasn't talking to me. Yeah, he was just a random thought he had. Oh, there is another. Yeah, he just thought, oh, no, I'm not the only one left.
Well, he was up
Leia?
age. He's pretty senile at that point. He's like
Yoda and
900
Yaddle,
something.
man, they had a baby.
Oh yeah, I was sad that Ahsoka apparently never got to meet Yaddle. But
I
guess
know.
it makes
Yeah, I
sense.
noticed that too. Yeah, she said that she'd only met one other of his kind.
Yeah.
Yaddle was around. Well,
Apparently Yaddle stepped down after the Phantom Menace. So
she did.
According
She-
to
I
the
mean,
DK books, yes.
yes,
according to
Yeah,
the DK Star Wars,
because that was an awful puppet. And they didn't want to.
they got
the Yoda in that's pretty bad, but
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's been
yeah.
replaced. So
They went
Yeah.
back and replaced that, though. Yeah, but yeah, of course, that's what everybody's saying. Yaddle and Yoda. This is Yaddle and Yoda's child, but
We don't know that they may
What?
they may reproduce.
Oh yeah, that's a theory.
like asexually, right?
Yeah, it could
split.
just
He
be
split
Yoda's.
off a toe and
Passing
grew
the
another
eggs.
one or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
who knows? Who cares? Who wants to? Why are we getting?
I don't
That's
care about.
That's a gross thing to.
I don't care about Grogu's lineage. I really don't.
no, I don't, and I don't care about Yoda's lineage. I don't ever want to know. I don't ever want to know what the species is called.
You don't want to drop.
Actually,
you
I
don't
kind of
you don't
want to know
go
what the species is called.
You don't want to drop Grogu off with a whole planet full of Yodas. You don't have any
No,
interest in
like
being a
E.T.
Yoda planet.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to care. I don't
we
care
could have a
about any
Bring
of
holiday
that.
Frank
special
Oz
with
back
all of
for
his
it.
family and his grandpa.
You want them returned to everybody? No, I don't. I don't.
Just a planet full of bass backwards talking.
I don't need to know any of that.
I'd be down for that. Just bring
Yeah,
back,
I'd
Frank
watch that.
Oz to voice some of them.
So-
It's
Yeah.
Grandpa
All
Itchy
of
or
them.
whatever.
I think the saddest part of the episode is when Ahsoka is describing the fact that he cut himself off from the Force to protect himself, basically because of the horrors that the kid has seen. I
Like
mean,
a
he has
traumatic
seen,
thing, right? He
I mean, if he saw
dampened his
Anakin,
powers.
if
That's not what she said, was it?
yeah,
I don't
mean,
remember that,
basically-
but-
No, she said that she
protect
talked
himself.
about his memories, and
Yeah.
she said, and then then his memories go dark.
Yes, that's what she said.
That's all. Like,
but then she also said something along the lines
He
of,
said something like that, though.
oh, okay.
He
Well, I missed
had
that.
to.
yeah. After that, there was like one last sentence where she says he's hiding his powers or something to protect himself or something along those lines.
Okay. Well, I missed that, but
We'll
Yeah,
have to
that
double
was-
check it.
I
I
did
did
too.
see that. I watched it earlier and I saw that, Michael. But
yeah. I think that the dude has seen a lot of horrible things. Yeah, hides his abilities. That's more around what he was saying. Yeah, she said.
Oh, yeah, he concealed his force. Okay,
He concealed. Yeah.
Does that mean he cut himself off?
No, not Luke, not like
Luke
Luke
style.
Did, he's powerful enough that he can conceal his force powers, or just No.
Why do you hate saying that?
I mean, I, like I said earlier, I hear it often, but I mean,
oh, what a negative experience it is agreeing with Michael.
It is. It's horrible. I hate agreeing with myself. It's horrendous. But so, I mean, do we think that he saw Anakin kill all the younglings? I mean,
I hope he saw.
He might have
younglings.
some PTSD.
Right? I mean,
I would have hoped he's hiding. There's some of those edits of him hiding in the room. I hope he's
yeah.
I mean, good grief! Unless he was taken out of there before all that happened. Unless Jocasta Nu took him out of there before all that happened. I'm going to keep saying that so it actually happens.
Yeah, in a purse. Like I imagine it, like him in a purse. Like
why would she only grab him? Why would she not grab all the students?
Well,
he's so small.
He's easily portable. It's like Stinky. It's like Stinky the Hut.
He just leaves them all to die.
Yeah.
What now?
By the way, I do love the fact that
she pinned that bun in her hair up with him. Pop! He popped it right in there.
A headpiece.
I do love the fact when they showed Grogu in like Mando's sack, little satchel, that like the bombs were right there by his head. I kept thinking all he has to do is like turn on those bombs that Mando, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, his little throw bombs?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Right there
Yeah.
Grogu's head. I just like and just have see him like start.
That would be a very Groot
close
thing to do, though.
He's like, no.
We already got that last
roll
credits.
The end.
The end of the show. That's right.
Series over.
He doesn't even force choke him. He just blows him up.
We already got our group moment last week with the wires, so yeah.
Oh, I like post-traumatic Jedi disorder. I like that.
Yeah.
Good. That's legit.
I don't know that Filoni's listening to us.
No,
he shouldn't.
Not.
He shouldn't. I hope I have more respect for him than to expect him to do that.
What if that's all the guy does when his downtime at home is watching YouTube shows of people talking about the episode he directed?
And he's like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Like hours and hours.
No,
Look, I would. I mean,
I hope he goes to Mike Zero's page.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it. I mean, could you resist? Like, if you were in his role, I mean, you would. If you had a popular program or whatever, I mean, would you not simply look everywhere and just to see what I would? I think I would get involved too. Like you'd start commenting, and that's when things start going downhill really fast.
I was about to say the problem with that is you start seeing the negative feedback, and then you become fixated on the negative.
Oh yeah. No, it makes you crazy.
How do I stop getting the negative feedback? And
I don't have the willpower to shut myself off from that stuff.
He does not.
So we've got 3 episodes left. What in the world do we think is going to happen in these last 3? Are we going to get just one? I'm not calling it like a throwaway episode, but
don't say
filler. One more
episode
stop before we get to
episode 6 last season was The Prisoner.
Okay,
I liked that episode a lot.
That was a great episode.
And I don't like calling it filler.
Yeah, it didn't move the narrative forward a lot.
Yeah. So you think that we're perhaps maybe getting another episode similar to that because Rick Fumiyawa is directing and writing, not the next episode, but I think he's doing chapter 15 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so episode 7 of this season.
Yeah, so he's doing episode 7 of the season. The next episode, we do not know who the director is. We know Robert Rodriguez is directing an episode.
I'm pretty sure that director list is out there somewhere. I just haven't tried to look.
Yeah,
there is still one mystery director.
I mean, don't you assume Favreau does the finale?
No,
I just assumed that, but maybe not.
That's what I would have thought, but I don't think he directs 2 episodes this season. There's one.
No,
I think it's Lucas.
I mean, he was on set.
Yeah.
Why else would
holding
you
the child?
hold that name? Like, why else would you not just put the director list out there? Like, there's this one episode that nobody knows.
I will have to say this though: if he directed an episode, that would have gotten leaked to Hollywood Reporter, Deadline.
I don't know.
ASAP.
I mean, we know in this article that came out today, he was on the set of this particular episode.
Yes, with Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Taika's not directing an episode.
Yeah, and there's a picture on Twitter that Favreau posted of Lucas holding the child.
Yeah, holding.
And it's from that day of them filming that. And he was on set.
Yeah.
It's a very blurry photo.
And she said that she was right off of to the side of that. Like she was in
her orange makeup.
In all made up and everything. Like Lucas
I thought that
loved being on that set.
I thought that interview was interesting because they were talking about the makeup and talking about the thing that they use for effects and how they couldn't exactly do the makeup how they would normally because what was it called? The name? The volume would turn it like a magenta color or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Did you not notice that in the article?
I didn't read that whole article.
Or at least lean the colors magenta.
Huh,
and so they had to kind of do it a different way, differently than they would have, and kind of account for how the volume affected the colors.
Interesting.
I guess they could do that in post too if they really wanted to, but I imagine they didn't want to do all that.
A lot of people were like, "Why don't you just CGI the Leku?" Well, I mean, dude, they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be like.
I don't want that.
When you have an animated version of a character, and that's where she began. Mm-hmm. And it's a very stylized animation as well, right? And the animation style was different from Clone Wars to Rebels, even.
Oh, sure,
okay?
Yeah.
There's not a single source of truth there. Okay.
Yeah.
Those Leku, and I don't, so when they were longer, when she shows up in Rebels, it showed that she had grown older.
Yep.
Matured, wiser. Presumably, that was just a visual cue. That's all it was. I don't remember there being any plot point. Now, I didn't watch the show. I've seen some of the show, but not a lot of it. I don't remember there being any plot points that were very dependent on the length of her Leku.
No,
right?
There wasn't any at all.
So there's no plot hole with this. It's just a visual representation,
and you can just come out and make a statement. You can make a statement saying that's not 100% accurate.
To push back a little bit, the only plot hole would be timeline and the fact that they're shorter and not the length.
That's beside the point. But that's not anything. Those are simply visual styles.
Yeah,
they don't mean anything.
Because
you can't take an animated character and translate it 1-to-1 live action. You can't do it. Nobody can do that. You shouldn't be expected to.
Mikey, even with the timeline theory, though, if you take into account Clone Wars Season 7, her things are much longer there.
But that's fine.
Oh, yeah,
that's fine for the cartoon. Like what you see on a cartoon is a visual representation of some live like Anakin. They don't look alike.
No,
from one to the other.
I was having the same discussion with my dad. Yeah,
it's okay. And we understand technically. Anybody who is not a fool understands technically why they're shorter, right? I mean, you need it for stunts. You need it for
the stunts people.
You need it for weight. You need it. They don't move right.
Because Rosario Dawson did not do the stunts.
So you don't need any. You don't need that to be right. And anybody who picks that out of an excellent episode, a wonderful debut of a live action debut for this character, they are morons, and they should be cast aside. Out of society.
I mean, that was
they don't contribute. They don't contribute. They're not contributors to anything. They don't bring positive things to people.
It's a very small segment of the Star Wars fan base.
Well, I know that's why I'm saying I'm not calling for mass genocide, but these few people, can we get rid of them? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because they're not good.
He is
they're
the magistrate. He's the registrate. So the
registrate.
Yeah, I would have them hung from those posts, shocking them until they disappeared. Because
let's make them human torches.
Brian, I hate to do that. I'm calling out Brian. We're not allowed to talk about him anymore.
We're not.
We're not allowed to talk about.
Can we talk about him and Daniel Logan?
We're not allowed to talk.
Weird. Yeah, what a weird. That's a weird thing.
This is, in real life, this is what Rhett wants.
Right. A culling. But a good one. Not like the crappy ones from history, but this is a good one.
A good culling. All right, I think we've ended.
Are we missing any point of this whole?
They took
No,
off.
I mean, obviously she sent him on his way. I mean, she sent him.
She talked about Tython. That we didn't mention the planet's name was Tython.
Which that's EU stuff that I'm not familiar with, and game stuff that I'm not very familiar with. But apparently, it's where the first Jedi temple is. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where the Jedi Order started, or something like that. And then there was like the Jedi.
Right, like Luke. Like with two U's.
the clone Luke.
The clone Luke.
Yeah.
The lesser Luke or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
I thought the first Jedi Temple was on Acto.
No, Act 2. No.
Was that not the whole point
That's
of him
just
being
Luke's getaway.
That's just
that was the first Jedi Temple. That's what we said in the movie.
I think
it was the birthplace of the Jedi Order and held the ancient texts.
Huh.
Well, look. Tython, I think, was an older. I think that was EU birth of the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
So,
maybe it'll have a different role in this. Just a name connection, but maybe it'll be a little different. The seeing stone stuff, though.
Jacob, there was awful crap in the.
So I don't have a problem with the seeing stone. Look, the Jedi has always been like a mystical thing. I mean, I don't have a problem with the seeing stone. It's he's going to sit on the seeing stone. Either Luke, Ezra, Quinlan Ross. I mean, some Jedi that's still alive is going to
Mace Windu.
He's gone.
Yeah. Tython is Old Republic. Yeah,
and that's the not the Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic, right?
Yeah.
The oldest
BioWare, the BioWare one, the BioWare one. Yeah,
the BioWare one.
Yeah, I didn't do that one.
So, I mean, we're gonna get that in the last episode. I think. I don't think we're going straight to Tython in the next episode.
I don't think so either. Because usually we don't usually go straight to another planet.
No, that'd be odd. Like there's always something.
But at the same time, I feel like there will be a 2-part conclusion, like there was last time. Would that take place on Tython? Well, maybe Grief is tracking him.
Oh no, he's tracking him. Remember?
Yeah.
So I think
it can happen anywhere.
I think we're going to see him go up in the atmosphere, and there's going to be a freaking Star Destroyer up there when he gets up in the atmosphere of this planet he just
Imperial
left.
Cruiser.
I don't know if he's going to leave. I think the action happens there.
That's what I was thinking.
You'll have Baby Yoda out. He wants Baby Yoda.
How does Mando get backup?
Yeah,
because he's got to get some backup.
Well, he's got to build a team. Yeah, so he's got
to go get. What if he goes and gets the folks in the prisoner?
The band back together.
He's obviously got to go pick up Mithril. I mean, that's a key team.
Or maybe they all show up to save the day because for some Deus Ex Machina reason. Cara Dune, Grief, Bo-Katan, her 2 guys, Ahsoka. Everybody shows up in the finale.
Well, now I mean. What Sasha Banks or whatever, she said she's not in another episode this season.
Yeah,
that leads me to believe we're not getting any more Bo-Katan.
Now she's just lying,
could show back up, I guess. I mean, she could definitely show back up.
You don't think Grief Karga and maybe Cara Dune will show?
I hope Grief Karga show. I mean, any episode with Grief Karga is a great episode.
Need some help. Like, I think Grief is going to bring a bunch of just like red shirts with him, so some people on the good guy sides can die. I mean,
well, I hope there are clay pots all over Tython. And Cara Dune annihilates.
That might be the whole next episode. We're just going to have her kicking pots.
Kicks the crap out of them.
Oh yeah. What if he rebuilds that broken droid Zero? Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would like that. Good.
She said she doesn't have any more scenes this year.
Really?
Mando's going to get ambushed.
I mean,
do it all himself.
He's going to get the baby taken from him, and that's going to be the cliffhanger this season.
Oh, that's exactly what's going to happen.
That would be that would be an awesome.
Wow!
Like
you should have said spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, man. That'd be awesome.
That's totally going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
our second season. It's got to end on a negative note.
So Michael, what if he does come up out of the space and there is the destroyer? They get caught, and he gets put in the same prison with that that team from last year with.
Oh no!
Well, they're in the
That'd be
Rebel,
funny.
they're in the New Republic prison.
Bill Burr.
But I think
Bill
we're
Burr
probably
and his
leaving it
team.
alone.
Mayfield.
That's his team.
I mean, one can only hope that Toro is actually alive and he shows up to help.
Toro Calican.
Oh, we could get Cobb Vanth to show up.
Boba Fett's going to show up and save the day. There you go.
Ooh. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't really want a Boba Fett show. Is it weird that I don't want a Boba Fett show?
It's
Nobody
it's
wants
happening.
It. Nobody wants it.
It's happening.
Nobody wants it.
I
Lucasfilm
mean-
has thought we've wanted it for 40 years, and they're going to make us get it whether we want it or not.
it's
thought you
Mando
wanted the movie.
fulfills a bounty hunter in that armor. You know what I mean? It kind of fulfills that
Yeah,
role.
we already got it. Yeah, that was supposed
Mando's
to
a
be.
better-
This is a repurposed show from the defunct Boba Fett movie. Okay,
I would think
Grogu napping?
Grogu napping.
like a kidnapping, like a Grogu.
Grog-
Yeah, no, it will
Grogu
be that will be a bad time for a lot of people. if
That
so
would be awesome. That's a great way to end a season, though.
I think so. Yeah,
Just have the girls.
You're
and
welcome,
tears.
Dave Filoni.
yeah. Leave that
it
Mike
makes
Zero
sense.
guy alone and come watch this. We're telling you exactly what to do.
This is the Empire Strikes Back season, so it makes
Yeah, yeah.
sense. I mean, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we end there then. Anybody got any plugs? Anyone? No. Nobody got any plugs. No plugs. Well, I'll say this: listen to the Deucecast weekly. Every Wednesday we drop an episode. Generally, it's movie talk, and we throw some madness in there as well. We've got what episode did we just do, Earl? That's coming out Wednesday.
I don't know. What is it?
Chris-
4 something? 3 something?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I
what
don't
we did.
keep up with that.
It's like I purge it from my mind after I record
You
it.
guys recorded it Friday,
I know
right?
I recorded it Saturday, and I
Or
can't even
60
remember.
something? I don't know.
What did we talk about? I
It's been
can't
48 hours. They don't know.
We talked about most
458,
anticipated
right?
Yeah,
Christmas
most
movies.
anticipated December movies. That's
December
right.
movies. We already-
Yeah, like
The broad selection.
it was.
What do you want?
Wonder
You want
Woman
Soul
84?
or Wonder Woman?
No, not the,
Pick one.
in all of December. Like in
the past, my friend. In the past.
Earl went back to the 70s. I mean,
I went back to like the original Lord of the Rings, Ralph Bashki.
Have a good night, Brian. Thanks for coming on. man.
I'm sad he
See you,
never
Brian.
See ya. I'm sad he never got to do a part 2.
Yeah,
I am
I'm
too.
sad that
I am
long.
too.
I am too. Yeah.
There's
So
still
yeah,
time.
that's what that. So that'll drop Wednesday, and then of course,
That's
the biggest thing on YouTube is subscribe, like, comment, click the bell. That's what all the kids always say. Click the bell.
the notification bell.
Notification bell.
Smash that like button.
Smash
You have to
the
say
like button.
smash that like button.
Smash the like
Like
button.
the kids say.
Like the kids say. So, all right. Anybody got any last words before we leave this thing? No parting
This
shots.
is the way.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening, and we will be back next Monday night with
Rough.
chapter 14. And yes, he did go back.
It's Gold Rush or whatever that movie was.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
All right.